Today we're going to talk about how to remove a tree stump. And all you need is a 5-gallon bucket and a trip to the drugstore. So stay tuned. My name's Derek. This is my wife Jenya. We bought a fixer-upper. We're remodeling this house one day at a time, all while living in it. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to get all the latest videos to track our progress. You'll find lots of how-to videos with step-by-step instructions to help you with your next do-it-yourself project. Welcome to the Rundown Reborn channel. Okay, in an earlier video we talked about how to use a tree stump maybe as part of a feature of a planting arrangement. If you haven't seen that video, be sure to check it out. It's worth a look. So today I've got 3 more tree stumps. I don't necessarily want to put flower beds. I've got an even less expensive solution. And all you really need is a 5-gallon bucket and a quick trip to the drugstore. So let's go ahead to the drugstore and we'll get what we need there. Okay, I'm back from the store. And what I got was my secret ingredient here. Well, not really so secret, but it's Epsom Salt, otherwise known as magnesium sulfate. This is the stuff that we're going to put into these tree stumps to dry them out. It's a very safe chemical. It's basically salt. There's about 3 ways you can go about doing this. 2 of them include this Epsom salt. There's another chemical called potassium nitrate. It's basically gunpowder. That's what you're going to find at your lawn and garden center, and it's going to be in a small container. It's a granular form. It's also toxic, so it's not real good for wildlife or pets or things like this. The other downfall against potassium nitrate is it costs about 5 times as much for the same amount. So this should do the job just as well, and it's going to be safe for the plants around it if you have any plants around it. Most of the chemical is going to go directly into the stump, so we're not too worried about that. All right, now the first thing you need to really concern yourself about is trying to get your trees, when you're cutting them down about as close to the ground as you can get. The less tree stump there is to get rid of, the faster it will happen. Now this method isn't really going to be a fast process, but it's definitely cheap. I mean, this stuff is maybe $3 a package. The other thing you may want to invest in is a hammer drill. Power drill probably would get the job done, but those are smaller motors. It's a 7-amp motor. It's really going to do the job in conjunction with this giant auger bit. I bought a 7/8" bit. This is about a $10 item, maybe $12. In this case, we do have a big old tree stump and we've got to get down in there. And doing a small drill, you're just going to really wear yourself out and maybe burn out your drill. Now, you don't have to have a drill. You can do this process without drilling out the tree stumps, but it's probably going to use more salt and it's probably going to use more time. So I'm going to use a drill, and what I'm going to do is basically just put some holes in this tree stump as deep as I can. We're going to go pretty much as far as we can go without problem. And we're going to do those all over, as many as I can get in there. Now these trees, I just cut them down a little while ago, and it's they're really green, so this may be a chore to try to get these holes drilled. What I'm doing is just trying to kind of open up the top as much as I can so it doesn't bind as much. If it does bind, just reverse the motor, back the drill bit out, put it back down in. Now, as you can see there, I'm actually starting to pull some dirt out. So I think I'm gonna stop at that hole. I've pretty much gotten to the bottom of that stump there. It's really wet, I can tell. It really likes to bind your bit. The more powerful the drill you have, the better it's going to drill at this. Well, here comes my neighbor. His name's Jeff. He helped me with the tree takedown we had over here. If you haven't seen that video, you got to check that one out. What's up, Jeff?
Look at the size of this.
What do you got there?
It's an old school drill. Oh, that'll rock your world, I'm sure of it.
Well, you don't think my drill's good enough?
I think this will go through that, but you just need to be careful and don't break your arm.
My drill feels a little underpowered for this, so all right, let me give it a shot. This is like using a jackhammer.
That's right. That's right. All right. There you go, Poppy.
Go ahead, show me how
Try.
it's done.
Which hole you want?
That hole's done. See if you can get that hole deeper.
She ain't gonna give up. How deep you wanna go?
Deep as you can. There's some material.
She ain't gonna mess around and she ain't gonna get hot on you and she ain't gonna burn out. It's your turn. Keep this handle against your leg.
Here goes nothing.
If you start digging, she ain't gonna get in.
I think we're getting some dirt there, so that one should be deep enough.
Chilly.
So what size is this thing?
Oh, I don't know, but it's big. I don't know, it's old school.
Well, you can say this is effortless.
Baby
So,
blue.
you get a big enough drill, you'll get the job done.
She's low and slow, but she goes. There you go. That's a nice bit too. You gotta love that.
Well, we're gonna go ahead and drill all these holes out, I think, with this monster. This is getting the job done. Like I said, there is a way if you don't have a monster like this or a big heavy-duty hammer drill, something that's really gonna drive into this thing. Remember, this is a green tree stump, so it swells as you get down in there and it just wants to bind the bits up. So I've got a solution for it. If you don't have access to a big old monster like this or a hammer drill, and I'll get you that in a minute. Let me drill some holes.
It's really low.
So this tree, I'm going to cut this down a little bit lower. Otherwise, there's just more to get rid of. And I got another problem here. I've got some chain link growing through it from before. So I'm going to use these loppers here, these bolt cutters, and get this chain link cleared out of the way of my saw so I don't catch my saw blade on it. And we're just going to snip those wires back here. And we got one right there. was a maple tree, just kind of a scrubby tree, wasn't in the right spot, so we took it out. There was a lot of scrubby trees along this property line, and we kept the nice ones. The rest had to go. The all-purpose, all-handy reciprocating saw, and I put a landscaping blade on it and tree trimming blade. See, we gotta cut this side some. There we go. All right, so we've got that a little lower. This one doesn't feel quite as wet as the others. Maybe it'll drill out a little bit better. We just want to get down to the base of this stump, or down at least towards the center, so it can rot from within. All right, so I put 4 in this, basically on the corners. The last one, and probably the most important one, is the center drill. So we want to bore a hole right down the middle of that guy. That's where the heart of the trunk is, and that's where the taproot feeds this. And the taproot's your main source of moisture into these tree stumps. So we're going to put one right down the middle as deep as we can go. There we go. So we got that guy all drilled out here. We went pretty deep. We're about 6 or 8 inches down this center, probably about 4 to 6 inches down these corners. So you can see we've got some good depth in there. All my holes are clear, and that's what we want. We want nice deep cavities there for the next step. So I've got an oil funnel here for putting oil in my car. Borrow that for the day. And I've got my Epsom salt. You don't have to go through the whole process of drilling these stumps out. It's just probably going to take more salt and more time to get them dried out. That's what we're trying to do. We're using this to really just draw moisture out of the root system, out of the trunk, and let it naturally rot and disintegrate. At some point, it's going to get soft and we'll be able to dig it out. All right, so now if you don't want to go through that whole process of drilling these things out, getting these cord out, or you don't want to go to the tools, the hard work, it's not expensive, it just takes a little extra time and a little extra effort. You can do it with just a mixture. So what you'd want to do in that case is you need 1 part salt, 2 parts water approximately. And so like a couple of bags of these is about 2 gallons of water, and you'll mix that up in your 5-gallon bucket and just pour it on here, and you'll need to repeat that every week or 2 and get that stump dried out. We're going to take this method. I'm more interested in a more expedited process, and so I'm just going to open this dude up, and all this is just crystalline Epsom salt, and we're just going to put that down here in the bottom of these holes to the top. I've got all the holes filled up, and I've got my salt on there, and you do want to put some around the perimeter of it. You just basically want to cover that. You'll notice I've got some living plants here nearby. This stuff isn't going to hurt it. Now if I pour it right on top, it might start, especially in a heavy concentration, it might start to cause some problems. But this isn't going to hurt a nearby plant. So, and it's not going to hurt the animals. They won't like it if they eat it, but they'll stay away from it. It's just salt. So we've got all that one ready. Now at this point, all we need to do is a little water. Okay, I've got my little water sprayer here. I'm gonna put on mist. All right, so I'm just dampening this down. We're getting the perimeter here wet. Don't wash it away. Now, it's still dry down in the bottom of those tubes, so this funnel can come in handy here too. We're just gonna put some water into here, let that soak out. Now, you don't want to go too much because it will start to flush out the salt. It is washing some of it out, that's okay. We'll just come back, just gonna put some more on top, fill out the tops a bit, and there we go, that one's ready. Now, you want to leave this open to the sun if you can. The warm air, the sun, help it dry out faster. But we've got about 4 or 5 days of rain coming, so what we'll do, just set a bucket over it during the rainy times, and when it stops raining, we'll just take the bucket back off and let it sit out to the air. Just lay a garbage bag over the top of this, some rocks on the corners, and it'll be fine. Then when it starts to dry out again, when you're not, or even if you're in the winter and you're expecting snow, you probably need to keep this covered. It's going to take longer if it's covered because the moisture is not evaporating as quickly. So it's best to leave it open to the air, let that draw that moisture out of the ground and dry that dude out. Then hopefully here by the end of summer, be able to come back with a chisel or pickaxe or even just a shovel and start digging away at that and get that down below the grade and put some dirt on top. Another thing we can do is, if you're allowed to where you live, is just burn it out. It should be nice and dry at that point. We'll be able to light a little fire in that, let it burn a little bit, and just let it collapse in on itself, cover it with dirt, and it's gone. So, easy breezy. So, what we need to do here, I'll let you have this, and we'll just pour some salt in that funnel there. Fill her up. Run out. It's a heavy bag. All right, let's open this up. You want me to pour it? Oh, there it went. You got some. All right, you got some down here too. Gonna get them in those holes. Pour some in there. There you go. You get that. Now, you just need to sprinkle it all the way around the outside. Yeah, there you go. That's pretty easy, isn't it? Right up against the tree. All right, good job. Now, that's fine.
Tube's actually, guys, you can use a tube too.
Yep.
That's way harder.
All right, let's do this. You want to squirt just a little bit, or see how that works? You got to put that in each hole. Squirt it in there. One more. One more. Just gonna get it wet. Don't wash it away. Just get it wet. Keep going. Go. Now, put some more on here.
Yeah. Now I have to spray that. It's like the whole back down.
I know, it's a big stump. All right, let's wet that. That's it. Let's wet that down. We're all done. Look at that. Now is the hardest part. We have to wait.
You're not testing me.
We'll have to wait about 4 to 6 weeks and keep an eye on it. During that time, about every week or two, we basically need to check it and make sure there's still some salt on it. But slowly, it's going to dry out.
What happens if there's no salt?
And we just need to add some more. Well, you ready to go swimming? All right, let's go swimming. So I hope this video was helpful. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe, help us grow our channel. Leave some comments if you have any questions or if you just want to show your support. We appreciate it. And give this a try. I think it'll work for you too. Thanks for watching. Come see us again.
See you guys next time. Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, go get yourself wet. Get in the pool.